I would so much rather live in Justin's house and enjoy Justin's company and partnership, but also have to do a lot of extra laundry, Justin's laundry, than only have to do my laundry and also like pay and finance and manage my entire world. Hey, tchotchkes. Welcome back to another episode of The Beat. Today, we are going to learn a little bit more about the inner workings of the single woman by choice, why more women over 30 are choosing to be single.
There's actually a growing number of women vocalizing how they are just completely choosing to opt out of dating and opting out of whatever this show is that we call the modern world of dating. And whether that just be temporarily or whether that be indefinitely, I really wanted to talk about it with you today. There are some studies I'm going to be talking about in today's video, and I mean, especially right now, that I just want you to know that please take them with a grain of salt. I think it's just fun to talk about. However, there are so many conflicting studies and conflicting research findings that I came across. And I also think there are so many variables that aren't really considered, and especially in regards to when we try to measure happiness. However, I have seen research that shows that, single women.
This is so funny because she's flat out acknowledging that there are other studies, there's other conflicting research that shows that the opposite of this is true or something else entirely is true. She's flat out admitting that and telling it to us. However, she's also admitting that she has decided that these are going to be the studies and variables that she talks about because it's fun to talk about studies that confirm what you already think. It's a lot less fun and a lot harder to look at studies that differ, that prove something different from what your worldview is, and then have to think about why that might be so. But we're not going to do that because we're just like here to have fun. So we're going to look at the articles and the studies that confirm what we already believe about the world. This is called confirmation bias. This is also called cognitive dissonance.
Women are happier than married women, and that men typically are happier when they're in a relationship, and it tends to be better for their overall well-being to be married and to be coupled off. So like I said, though, I mean, I would take that with a grain of salt. However, I do find this very fun and very
Take it with a grain of salt because I'm admitting to you right now that there are a whole other slew of studies that prove the direct opposite of what I'm showing you right now, but I'm only cherry picking the things that I want to show you because it is so fun to talk about things that confirm my worldview and make me feel smarter and better about myself and my choice to be a single woman.
This on social media. You'll see this on TikTok. People sharing their experiences with dating in 2024.
I had a little cry earlier, and I had a big cry last night.
Yeah.
But I'm not crying now.
You're not?
And I think for that,
Yeah.
I'm doing so well.
That really confirms what we learned before, that women who are single are happier. I feel like that's anecdotal evidence that shows just the opposite. Because if you had a little cry then and a little cry later, but you're not crying now and you're considering that a win, I would suggest that maybe you are not as happy as studies suggest you are.
There's not going to be this grand solution, or it's not going to be a checklist of things you have to do or what you can do to solve this problem. I really just wanted to take the time to acknowledge the women that I'm seeing on social media and also just vent with you.
Translation: I have no solutions for you. I have no ideas or intentions to help solve this problem. I'm just going to vent for the next 26 minutes. I'm just going to vent about the situation to you. I'm just going to complain on the internet. Translation:
I think it really comes down to, in a nutshell, a lot of women would rather be single than be with someone who they don't deem to be equal to them. a lot of women would rather be single than to be with someone who they feel adds no value to their life. That is a common question that women are finding harder and harder to answer about a lot of the men that they come in contact with. Will this man add any value to my life?
Okay, fine. You are a strong, independent woman. You've got your career, your finances. You pay your own bills. You've got your own apartment or house, whatever it is. Like, I guess it comes down to a question of, like, what do you value?